Our story kicks off in the main character's room on his birthday, complete with some video game posters and a cake on the table. With that, a knife slices into the cake, revealing its creamy, red berry filling. He takes a bite and yup, his face says it all, the taste is absolutely horrible. He furiously chucks the cake in the trash. That thing cost him a whole 29 yuan, money that would have been better spent on gacha pulls. Just then, our MC sees a post on his phone from someone giving thanks for a birthday cake. Staring at the screen, our guy wishes someone actually cared about him for real. He slumps back in his chair, bummed out, thinking it would be nice to get a simple, get well soon when he's sick. Then, he suddenly gets dizzy, collapses from the fever, and bemoans the fact that nobody is around to help him with such a simple wish. All of a sudden, he hears a strange noise, and a panicked man's voice cries out for help. A giant mouth full of sharp teeth appears out of nowhere, and the sheer size of the creature freaks him out. At that moment, a girl with dark hair tied up in a ponytail shows up on the scene. Our main character is suddenly a white-haired young man being attacked by a creature, but a powerful red bolt of lightning strikes the monster. The beast is engulfed in an intense red energy that seems to be disintegrating it bit by bit. A golden staff falls amidst the explosion as the creature's hand begins to vanish. Our young man watches the scene in shock, wondering what in the world just happened. If he just got isekai'd, as a woman's voice calls out, Jiang. She approaches him on the ground and finishes his name, calling him Shio. With a furious look, she screams the last part of his name, P! And then she just decks him, chewing him out for running around recklessly in an interdimensional space. With that, our guy goes flying across the snow as the girl questions if he has a death wish. Lying on the ground in pain, he pieces it together. His new name is Jiang Xiaopai. It clicks instantly. This is just like those cliché stories. He's been transported to another world. This new place is the Star Marshal continent, and it's buzzing with a bluish energy. The biggest difference in this world are the portals that connect to dimensions filled with fantastical creatures. Besides the monsters, a mysterious force called Star Force also flows out of these portals. As a result, a few lucky people gain the ability to perceive this power, becoming awakened. Potential of an awakened is measured by the number of star slots they have on their map, and the body he's currently borrowing belongs to Jiang Xiaopi, and awakened with a measly 9 star slots. The dark-haired girl then calls his name again. He recognizes her as Han Jiangshu, his stepsister, a prodigy with 30 star slots who's basically the chosen one. His sister helps him up from the snow while he complains about the cold, and a figure approaches them. Suddenly, a female voice yells out that she's finally found them. Our girl runs towards them, asking if Shu is okay. She hugs her friend, and our guy remembers that she is Xia Yan, a girl with 28 star slots. Xia Yan turns to him and teasingly calls him Little Pai Pai. She scolds him for running around in the interdimensional space, and he apologizes, embarrassed. The girl says his sister was extremely worried, and he promises not to do it again. He understands that his sister brought him here to train because the original owner of the body got cocky after awakening. During a hunt, he got lost and was running from 2 monsters, but Han Jiangshu saved him. Moment the MC senses something is off and stops dead in his tracks. He then remembers that his sister had only taken out one of the monsters chasing him. Just then, the second white monster appears before the group, and it does not look friendly. Our young man is completely terrified by the creature's surprise appearance. The beast lunges to attack. He yells for everyone to watch out. His sister pulls him to the ground to dodge, landing on top of him and making him blush. He turns beet red, flustered by how close his face is to his sister's. The older sister uses her ability, creating energy claws to attack the beast. Desolate Neat Wind, she launches a powerful attack against the white, furred monster. But she yells her friend's name, Xia Yan, asking for help in the battle. The brown-haired girl smiles confidently and says she gets the message. She uses her ability, Burning Flame, and her sword is engulfed in fire. She then swings her enormous flaming sword with all her might toward the creature. The attack lands a direct hit on the snow monster, which screams in pain from the impact. Even so, the fiery blow fails to pierce the creature's thick hide. The force of the impact is so great that it sends the beast flying backward violently. She lands in the snow, a little surprised by the enemy's resistance to her attack. With a smirk, she comments that the monster's hide is pretty thick and high level. The white creature, a snowcullen, glares at the girl with pure rage in its eyes. But she's not intimidated and taunts it, saying it dares to act tough with her. With that, her weapon glows with an intense red energy, showing off its power. With a powerful strike, the brown-haired girl attacks the beast with her weapon, making it bleed. From the force of the blow, the monster collapses to the ground, completely defeated and unable to fight back. The protagonist watches, impressed that the two of them defeated the creature in just 2 hits. Face flushed, he's blown away, thinking this is the power of an awakened. The brown-haired girl lets out a sigh of relief after the intense battle is over. She turns to her friend and celebrates, saying their teamwork was flawless. But she's surprised to see our young man is still in his sister's arms. Jealous, she separates them and tells them to cut it out with a sibling moment. The older sister warns that the smell of blood will attract other monsters and they need to get out of there. He remembers the star beads that are inside the creatures and contain their abilities. He then realizes that the skills used in the fight came from absorbing these beads. The brown-haired girl calls him an academic failure and tells him to come closer. She's going to teach him how to check the creatures so he doesn't tick off his sister by flunking the exam. Holding a blue bead, she explains that no matter the creature, the item is always in the same place. He then asks if it's in the brain, and she confirms, saying that maybe he's not a total lost cause. The brown-haired girl explains that snowculin's skulls are tough and require sharp tools. She says you have to find the right angle to be able to extract the item. With a grin, she shoves the dagger into the monster's head to pry it open. The blade then pierces the top of the creature's head in search of the star bead. She sticks her hand inside the monster's head, rummaging through the brain matter. But she finds nothing and laments that this snowculin didn't have a bead. She then hands the dagger to our young man and tells him to practice on the other monster. He thinks to himself he's lived 25 years without ever gutting a fish, and now he has to do this. However, he remembers how dangerous this world is, and that he almost cashed in his chips the moment he arrived. With determination, he gets ready, knowing he won't survive if he can't handle this task. She says neither of the two snowculins had a star bead. She explains that the beads are rare, and that an Awaken needs both talent and luck to find them. Our young man covers his mouth, feeling sick, but says he understood the lesson. His sister asks if he's okay and notices that he seems to have matured all of a sudden. With a hand on her chin, she wonders if his change in attitude was because of the slap she gave him. His sister calls him He Chow Pi, and he turns to her in the snow with a serious expression. She then hands him a star bead and says it's from a white gold shaman for him to absorb. Our young man is mesmerized by the intense glow of the bluish item in his hands. He thinks that with his 9 slots, he can only have 9 techniques in his entire life. He decides not to waste any time and starts absorbing the energy from the star bead. A large amount of blue energy envelops his body as he raises the orb. Suddenly, he's transported to a strange place and wonders where he is. A screen displays his information, and he questions the internal star map vision. He understands that he is inside his own consciousness and notes that he might have more than one star map. Soon, a detection message appears in front of him as he analyzes the situation. The screen shows that the item has 2 techniques and asks if he wants to merge and absorb them. He's shocked that he can merge 2 techniques into a single star slot. Without hesitating, he accepts the merge, as this is an ability no one else possesses. With his decision, the star bead shatters into several pieces, and its energy is released. Reality, his sister asks if he managed to get any new star techniques. Before he can answer, Xiao Yan warns that they've got trouble heading their way. The group tenses up as their friend explains that a hunting squad is coming toward them. Just then, a new uniformed group approaches, and a member reports that the Kulins have already been opened up by another team. Another squad member recalls they passed a decimated Kilin clan and questions if it was the same group. Their captain laments their bad luck since they found no younglings or beads, and worries about the head of the family. With a malicious grin, the leader tells his team to continue the search for the shaman younglings. He then says that if they run into the other team, they'll just take their star beads. That the enemy squad moves on after examining the defeated monster. The team walks away, leaving footprints behind in the soft mountain snow. Meanwhile, our group hides behind a tree to avoid being discovered. The protagonist wonders why they're so desperate for the Ghoul Shaman younglings and their beads. Yan explains that Ghoul Shamans are extremely rare compared to common white ghouls. On top of that, she reveals that in a clan of white ghouls, there is, at most, a single shaman. To top it all off, their beads contain healing techniques, which are the rarest of all. He's floored to learn that a shaman bead is worth 200,000, while a common one is worth 500. His sister warns him to be careful not only of creatures but also of humans in the interdimensional space. She reveals that awakened people also have beads, and their star force is more potent than that of the creatures. With that, our young man realizes there's a risk of being attacked by other humans in search of power. Totally bummed out, he understands why they were hiding and can't believe he ended up in such a dangerous place. Just then, his sister gently pats his head and says they need to leave the area. The girl notes that it's getting dark and their star force is low, so they need to head back to base. The group then begins their long trek back through the snow, leaving footprints behind. As they walk through the icy landscape, the snow continues to fall on the trio of awakened. The older sister notices he's quiet and wonders if it's because he didn't manage to get a technique. She then tries to comfort him, telling him not to put so much pressure on himself over it. But with a smile, he explains that he's just shocked by how brutal this world is. They continue walking along the mountainside amidst the relentless snowstorm. Suddenly, something starts to emerge from under the snow in a very mysterious and creepy way. Soon, the face of a white ghoul with sharp teeth bursts out of the snow right in front of them. To the group's horror, an entire horde of white ghouls appears, surrounding them from all sides. The creatures stare down the group with their glowing eyes and expressions of pure rage. With that, the trio braces themselves to fight the horde of monsters that has them surrounded in the snow. Ishian is surprised as she counts 16 white ghouls and wonders where so many came from. The older sister finds it strange, as these creatures are usually solitary and don't travel in packs. She concludes there must be a shaman in the clan, and the protagonist is shocked by the rare appearance. Her friend is worried, as they don't normally organize large-scale attacks against humans. At that moment, the horde of monsters charges toward the group to begin their assault. One of the white ghouls roars fiercely, baring its sharp teeth to intimidate them. Without wasting a second, the brown-haired girl readies her sword, which becomes engulfed in flames. She then uses her ability Burning Flame and launches a powerful fiery strike at the monsters. The flaming attack lands a direct hit on one of the creatures, which is struck with immense force. Meanwhile, the sister protects the young man and uses her Desolate Wind technique to attack the horde. Right after, she prepares her Shattered Void ability, with red energy gathering in her hand. Her powerful attack hits the monsters in front, creating a massive explosion of energy. But one of the creatures manages to get past their defenses and charges toward our young man. The creature lunges with its sharp claws, ready to strike our defenseless MC. In that moment, the older sister looks at him with a very determined gaze. Without a second thought, she throws herself in front of him to protect him from the deadly blow. The monster's claws then strike her in the back, gravely injuring her in front of everyone. The force of the impact sends them both flying, tumbling down the mountainside. Their friend sees the scene and screams Shu Shu's name in terror. Our young man lands in the snow with his unconscious sister on top of him, not knowing what to do. He sees her blood staining the snow and is completely shocked by the situation. Lying in the snow, the girl doesn't respond, and the protagonist panics, screaming her name. But then he remembers the new star technique he just got called Blessing. Without hesitating, he uses the ability on his sister, and a warm light envelops her body. The dark-haired girl wakes up confused and wonders what that strange sensation is. She feels her body become light and float as if she were in an ocean of star force. Her back wound starts to itch as it heals rapidly from the new ability. Her whole body feels warm, as if she were in a very relaxing hot spring. With wide eyes, she is astonished by the sensation in her body. Her face then turns bright red as she says she's feeling super hot all over. With her whole body feeling flushed, she's still lying down making a super weird face because of the healing spell. Our MC is totally confused by her reaction, wondering what the heck is going on. But while he's distracted, some giant creatures start creeping up on them. And just like that, 3 of the creatures lunge at our MC and the girl. The girl's eyes start glowing with a blue energy, and her expression turns dead serious. She quickly gets to her feet, surrounded by a bluish aura. Our MC is just floored, seeing the immense aura of power radiating from the girl. Right after, she summons her star map, which glows with a powerful golden energy. With her hand outstretched, the girl gathers a massive amount of red energy for an attack. Then, a vortex of power shoots out towards one of the white phantoms, scoring a direct hit. The girl remains still with a cold expression after launching her powerful strike against the beast. The ability then explodes with devastating force, wiping out one of the monsters from the horde. A system window pops up, informing him that he's earned 1 skill point for the first takedown. The young man is surprised and wonders what this new skill point thing is all about. Just then, their friend comes running up, relieved to see the other girl is okay. The older girl, with energy gathering in her hand, tells her friend to focus on the enemy. With that, fire energy begins to erupt from her hand. She then launches her explosive flame, landing a direct hit on one of the white monsters. The impact is so strong it sends the creature flying, tumbling through the snow. The sister warns with concern that their power won't last forever, and they need to take out the shaman first. In the middle of the horde, the staff-wielding shaman appears, surrounded by other creatures. Shaman bares its sharp teeth, ready to continue the assault. It begins to use its blessing ability to aid its companions. A bluish aura envelops one of the injured monsters, and it begins to heal. In just a moment, the creature's body is completely regenerated by the healing magic. RMC realizes the shaman is healing all of them, so he yells for the sister to use her savage wind to launch him into the air. The girl complies, raising her hand to use her wind ability. A powerful gale immediately surrounds the MC's body, launching him skyward. Now airborne, the young man desperately scans the horde of monsters for the shaman. The young man focuses his gaze on his targets down below. He finally spots the shaman and its 2 guards in the snow and shouts that he's found them. Our MC then yells the shaman's location to his sister, 200 meters out. The girl says she got it and plants her feet in the snow, getting ready to run. With a focused expression, the young woman takes off at full speed in the direction the MC pointed out. Our MC doesn't waste any time either and starts running to help with the coordinated attack. Meanwhile, their friend charges through the snow with her sword. The brown-haired girl yells as she launches an attack, a massive aura of fire completely enveloping her. She unleashes her flame ability, creating a wave of fire that travels across the mountain. The powerful flaming attack travels so far that it's even detected by the shaman. The girl reveals herself to be just a decoy to distract them. At that moment, MC leaps towards the real target, yelling, "I got him!" The shaman stares down the approaching young man with a calm expression, showing no fear. Then the monster and its guards turn and charge furiously to attack the MC. Seeing the creatures charge him, the girls panic and scream the MC's name in desperation. In the air, our MC tries to defend himself from the creature's blow. MC quickly uses an ability called Dispel. His friend is stunned, realizing he used the same technique he absorbed from the shaman. His sister is just as confused, wondering how that could even be possible. She then remembers that the technique he absorbed was clearly a buffing spell, and not a magic, dispelling ability like the one he just used against the monster. With a smirk, our boy taunts the shaman, telling him he shouldn't get too cocky. From behind the shaman, he adds, "Do you really think you were the only one who could pull a bait and switch?" He then finishes off the monster, gaining a point and a new dagger mastery. With that, the shaman's body slumps into the snow as the last guard watches. Our MC stands tall, facing down the last remaining guard to finish the fight. Fuming with rage, the remaining monster bares its teeth and roars, its eyes glowing. But to our hero's surprise, the creature turns tail and runs, with its tail tucked between its legs. The MC sighs in relief, saying, "That was a close one," and sheaths his weapon. At that moment, his companions run up and ask if he's okay. His relative calls out to him and says he has some explaining to do about what just happened. Our MC looks awkward and averts his gaze, not knowing how to answer them. He then asks if they can talk about it once they're somewhere safe. The group starts a campfire to warm up from the cold night. Sitting around the fire, the mood between them seems pretty weird. The young woman says, "So, you got a dual-star ability, and one of them is a medic type." Our MC wonders why she's reacting this way, and if she shouldn't be happy about it. The friend asks if he even understands what it means to become a medic type awakened. She explains that those who absorb techniques have a better chance of getting stronger ones, but combat types like her have no affinity for those skills, and she explains that for every 100 awakened, only one is a healer type. Our MC gets excited and asks, "Isn't that a good thing? It makes me super valuable, right?" With a serious look, his relative says he doesn't grasp what that truly means. The girl shows a badge and says the rules require teams of 4, and everyone wants a medic. Because even with just one technique, they determine the team's endurance and survival. With that, our MC is stunned as he finally understands the weight of his new position. The MC notices their concern and says that with his low aptitude, he won't be a target. He says that because he's a rare type, he'll be forced into dangerous missions, and the sister nods in agreement. So she decides he's going to go to school and become a doctor or a hospital, leaving him completely stunned. The MC is baffled. He thought he was on the path to becoming a god, but it turns out his destiny is a 9 to 5 at a clinic. At this, the friend gets annoyed and says the other girl is being way too overprotective of the MC. His sister lowers her head and says she understands what her friend means, but she hesitates. Silence falls on the group as the MC quietly observes his sister. The MC then seems to understand her concern and gets a little nervous about the situation. He changes the subject, saying he's only 16, and the friend agrees that the future is a long way off. The brown-haired girl pulls the other one aside and says they should count their earnings from the hunt. She then tells the MC to get to bed early because training continues the next day. Our MC smiles, happy to feel what it's like to be cared for by someone for the first time. The night passes peacefully on the snowy mountain, but a strange noise suddenly breaks the silence. Suddenly, a mouthful of sharp teeth appears, showing that the danger isn't over. Our MC moves to the front of their camp as his friend calls out to him. The friend warns him not to fight it head-on and to use his head, since he's smarter than the beast. With that, our MC faces off against the enormous white-furred creature, which roars with fury. The girl then promises him a cup of hot tea if he can hold out for 30 seconds. With a determined expression, our MC braces for battle, gripping his weapon tightly.